Today, I'm finally tackling the floors in our guest bathroom. The color never quite matched the rest of the house and it's been bothering me for a while. I did a budget makeover in this bathroom about a year and a half ago, but because I was trying to keep the cost down, I decided to wait on the floors. I have leftover from my last project, and since this is a small bathroom, I'm hoping I can get it done in a couple days because I already have the plumber schedule. Oh, crap. Oh, I cut this backwards. This video is sponsored by Flooret. More about them later. So the first thing I have to do is take out the toilet. I have to drain the water. Nothing like sticking my hand down the toilet first thing in the morning. I know last time a lot of you suggested to use a shop vac to do this, and I agree, that'll probably be easier, but I don't feel like cleaning it. I mean, I do have to clean the bucket, but I only have one shop vac and it's attached to my miter saw. I might use it today, so I just don't want to have to clean it, dry it, and then connect it back to collect all the sawdust. This works. This is fine. Do you want to help me move this toilet?
No. Why potty so heavy?
Because potty has to hold 200 and 300 pounds, people.
This is a good point.
I don't like how rusty these get, so I'm gonna see if I can get a plastic one from the store. Now that the toilet was out of the way, and after dealing with a disgusting wax ring I had to clean out, it was time to start prepping. This involved removing the trim, and since my plan was to reuse it, I was extra careful with how I took it off. After taking all the trim out, this of course left a lot of residue from the old sealant, so I had to clean it out too. I do plan to change this floor eventually to match it because, yeah, I don't like this color anymore. And it doesn't match anything in this house anymore. And it doesn't match the floor that I'm doing. Okay, I'm done. When I'm working in a small room, I like to plan out where all the planks are gonna line up, especially when there are obstacles in the way, like a toilet flange. For me, it was really important to make the cuts that wouldn't compromise the integrity of the floor and would still be simple to install. So I did a lot of measuring and thinking. I also made templates and cut everything ahead of time so I could avoid messing up a plank. I didn't have that many planks, so I couldn't afford to make too many mistakes. At first, I thought about going around the toilet flange from the bottom and then connecting the top with another plank, but I didn't like how thin each side of the plank looked. So instead, I decided to wrap around the flange going sideways, and that ended up determining the layout of the rest of the bathroom. I think every cut in this bathroom is gonna be a custom cut. So I have a feeling this is gonna take me forever. Every time I think I'm ready to start laying the floors, I find something else I have to do first. I was about to cut the first plank and realized that I have to undercut the trim because the floors have to go under it. And then I can lay the first plank. It just feels like I haven't done anything all day. This has taken me all day. So I'm worried about being able to finish this floor today. After I got done with the first cut and realized that I had to start making custom cuts, I gave up for the day. I also rescheduled the plumber because I realized this was gonna take me longer than I thought. Woo! I got it perfect, but I forgot something. So when I do a full plank against the edge, I like to cut off the tongue because it's thinner than the rest of the plank, so I want the full thickness of the plank against the wall. I don't know if it's 100% necessary, but it makes me feel better if I do it that way, so I need to actually cut that off and adjust the L cut I did over there to fit. The color I'm installing is called Nakan, and it's got this natural wood look that just goes well with everything. Perfect. So far, I've installed it in our bedroom, the main bathroom, and the closet. Flooret is the sponsor of this video, but honestly, even if they weren't, they would be my top pick for floor installation. At this point, I'm just going room by room and replacing all the floors because I love them so much. Replacing floors is not a fun job to do, so I want something relatively easy to work with that's super high quality. First off, they're 100% waterproof. When installed right, the click-lock mechanism prevents standing water from reaching your subfloor for up to 72 hours, which is usually enough time for it to evaporate. So let's say you spill wine on your floor, or coffee, or syrup. You just wipe it off, no stain, and it doesn't get past the surface. And any questions you may have, they've got you covered with one-on-one supports from experts who know everything about Flooret. And let me tell you, these planks are hands down the best I've ever worked with. They're designed to be DIY friendly, which is why I keep installing the floors myself. They come with a 20 to 40 mil wear layer, which is nearly triple the industry standard. It also has pre-attached underlayment, so you're getting all the benefits right out of the box. The planks are so big that they don't even fit in this bathroom. It makes a difference when you're doing a larger space. You use fewer pieces, which means fewer cuts, faster install. Like I mentioned before, I went with the color Nakan from the Modine Rigid Vinyl Plank collection because it's super close to the floors I already have in the rest of the house, and I wanted to keep the look consistent. Flooret keeps things eco-friendly by using low VOC materials and sustainable manufacturing, so the floors are better for your home and the planet. And if you're not sure which color to pick, they got sample kits to help you match your space before you commit, which is super helpful. And since Flooret is sponsoring this video, they're offering you half off your sample order using code DIY Tiff Flooret. So if you have a flooring project coming up, definitely check them out. Thank you, Flooret, for sponsoring this video. I just have to make sure there's no dust. The next cut was the plank that goes around the toilet flange. This one was specifically challenging because each plank has to be angled up into the groove to install it, and that's hard to do when the plank is pinched tight against the flange. I purposely decided that the next plank above would be a small piece so I could drill a hole to go over the toilet valve. Normally you'd want a tight hole that fits closely around the pipe, but I wasn't about to turn off the water to the whole house and then have to replace the valve. Sorry. That's probably the easiest plank of the whole bathroom. This plank was definitely more challenging than the last one. I basically had to do bathroom yoga, holding the flange up with my foot against the pry bar just to make enough space to angle the plank, because I needed both of my hands to angle it and lock it in place. Got it in. I just gotta lock it in with the mallet. I hope that was at least interesting. A lot of times I end up with uneven pieces like this one. The back of the cabinet piece is narrow and it gets wider as it goes down. I make templates for cuts like these to help prevent a miscut. It's a little bit more time consuming and it's not absolutely necessary. You could just use a tape measure and do a little bit of math, but I prefer doing it this way because I make fewer mistakes. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, crap. How am I going to... There. Oh, man. That's hitting the wall right there. So I think the wall's crooked, or my cut's crooked. One of those. But I can fix it. Tomorrow I'll do that row. I'm probably gonna do 2 pieces because they're kind of a pain to get under there. I am done for today. This is a really tiny bathroom. I'm gonna try to do this last a little bit in one piece. So I'm gonna use a template. It's just gonna be tricky because I have to go under the trim and the door jamb, and I still have to somehow angle it enough to lock it in here. If I can't do it in one piece, then I'll split it into 2 because I have this trim right here and then I have the one on the other side of the door. My template isn't big enough.
What you gonna do when your circuit's being burned out? Staying in your lane, I'm a zombie, but I still try. I say, what you gonna do right now? She thinks it's okay, bringing guns to a fist fight. Staring with those eyes, knowing I'm just gonna lay down.
did something wrong. Oh, I cut this backwards. That side goes here. What the? How did... Ugh. How did I mess this up? Sorry, I know you can't see, ouch, anything. But I need the door closed. Okay, perfect. Yay. Yes. Oh, good. I'm done with floor. I want to reuse the trim that was already on because this trim is not old. I just put it up, I think a year and a half ago or whenever I did this bathroom, and is in good shape. So if I can take all the nails out and put it back up, all I have to do is some touch-ups and it should be fine. They're not coming up. I don't think I have the patience for this. This was a bit of a pain, but I got them all out, and the ones that gave me too much of a hard time, I cut them with a multi-tool. I also had to clean each one of them up. So I've been meaning to make a toe kick for this vanity here because there's two big holes right there underneath, and I kept just forgetting or just pushing it off. But now that I'm doing the floors here, I think I should go ahead and do it, and then I can trim around it to cover the gaps on the floor. The reason those holes are there is because there was a leak and it went under the vanity, and I needed it to dry. So I made two giant holes and put a fan there for a few days, and everything dried up. Yeah, this stuff happens sometimes. This is why I don't throw away scrap wood. You never know when you need it. This line is not even, so I'm actually gonna cut this without the fence. And I'm gonna try to follow the line. I have to paint it to match. Luckily, I have some of the paint left from when I painted the cabinet. So while that's drying, I'm gonna go and install some baseboard. Still needs to dry. Someone's coming. Misty! You gonna keep me company? You gonna keep me company while I work? Yes? Good girl, Misty. Good girl. For the trim that goes in front of the tub, I like putting a quarter round that is made out of PVC because it's waterproof. The trim that was there was wood, and it was getting ruined by the water because its water always splashes out. So I like PVC, and to glue it, since it's PVC, I don't want to nail it, I'm using Tub Surround. This glue holds it up pretty good. I had to get the same one that is metal because it was the only one that was big enough to cover that hole. So I still gotta put a couple screws, but alright, all I have to do is caulk everything and I should be done. Oh, there's a transition by the door. I'm almost done. I'm never gonna be done. For the top of the baseboards and this top trim over here, I used white caulk, but I'm using clear for the bottom. I like sealing the bottom in the bathroom just in case there's a leak, especially by the tub, because when you get out of the shower, there's always water that sits there. I like using clear because this floor has a texture, so when you use white, it's really hard to clean it off and do a clean line. You can also use silicone. Silicone is probably more durable, but it's hard to work with and harder to clean, so I just use waterproof caulking, and that works. I normally glue the transition, but my glue is dried up, and I also decided I'm not gonna glue it yet because I'm going to be changing this floor soon. It'll be months from now, so soon-ish. And when I do that, this has to come out anyway, so I decided I'm just gonna put it in place. I cut it pretty tight, so it stays there. It's just pretty tight in there. That way I don't have to look at an ugly gap in the meantime. I love how this floor looks, and I think this was the final touch this bathroom needed, just because everything else was light wood, and I really wanted to put light wood on the floor. I just couldn't do it at the time when I first did this bathroom, but I am so glad I did it now. It looks so nice. I'm so happy with it. Thank you for hanging out with me one more time through painfully putting down floors. Thank you, patrons and members, for your support, and I will see you in the next video.